Welcome to Shifting Impressions, Conversations with the Realm of Beings, with me, Gretta Chamberlain, and the Realm of Beings. Shifting Impressions, which is one of the vehicles that supports the transmission of the Realm of Beings, is here to assist you in delving into your being by providing numerous topics and discussions for you to intake as you deepen your connection with your inner world. Shifting Impressions is here to assist you in strengthening yourself as you excavate to understand your true nature. Join us today and learn to shift your mindset, shift your thoughts, and shift your focus to recreate your life and produce a new you. Shifting Impressions starts now.
Well, good day to all of our old and new viewers. I'm Kathleen Lee, the original, coming to you live with joy, peace, and unconditional love, vibing high with Greta and the Realm of Beings. Each week we discuss a channeled quote from our beloved Realm of Beings to support you, our audience, and our beautiful listeners, all about how you create your own reality and how to create the reality that you want. And I would be remiss again if I did not share that we are so excited. We have some upcoming guests on our a new show format this year, but the whole month of September now, we have Alan Steinfeld, who is the author of Making Contact, and it's preparing for the new realities of extraterrestrial existence. And Alan is going to be sharing and teaching remote viewing, and that's coming to you free from as a thank you for being our listeners. That's coming to you free. So for 4 weeks, he's going to be talking about and teaching you how to do remote viewing. So I just needed to constantly remind you that of that also that he's coming, and also to like and share Shifting Impressions with everyone that you know. And it's okay to send us a testimonial. I want to thank Mr. Kumar, who always sends me a message telling me how wonderful the show is. And he also, I want you to know, when I said I didn't know what that little, what's that, exceptionality, what was that thing we had last week, Greta?
Singularity.
Yeah, there you go, singularity. He sent me a whole definition, whole big thing. Thank you, Kumar. So this is my shout out to a very devoted listener. We love Kumar. And I'm just so happy to know that people are learning and responding and supporting me in learning and expanding my own understanding of this. Well, we are back again. Are you ready for the quote of the week? The quote of the week. Here we go. Quote, quote, quote. It's called, of course, with July 4th, freedom. There is no destiny or fate. There is only your personal reality created by you and only you. And I wanted to add for you, but I didn't because the realm will tell me we didn't say that because that's not true. So I'm going to leave that alone, that quote alone. Anyway, explore the true meaning of personal reality and how you create mental, psychological, and emotional freedom after releasing the belief in destiny and fate. And I know I'm going to hear from someone, one of our intrepid viewers from the audience, and it just might be Mr. Kumar again, I'm pretty sure. But I know we've talked about fate before, Greta, on the show, and destiny, and that different cultures come with a different cultural framework and how they see the world, their whole worldview. And they believe in karma and fate and destiny. And it's okay if that's their framework. Am I correct?
Absolutely.
Right, because we're
Absolutely.
non-judgmental and whatever floats your boat, whatever helps you is we're right there with you. We're supporting you in that. But there are fate is a little different than destiny because I did look it up. Fate is when it's determined, it's predetermined course of events. It's unavoidable. And I remember hearing about that with the Greek and Roman mythology more so than anything else. But they have a philosophical and religious views on that. But destiny deals more with the future. even though they're like all very similar, their words, the things that someone or something will experience in the future. And of course, we know there is no future. Greta and I do. And I believe those that are listening to us in the audience are coming around or have already come around and accepted that there is no past or future. There's only the present now. And so therefore, for us, our grounding, for us, there is no fate and there is no destiny. And I'm going to now turn it over to Greta
Mm,
to,
thank you so much.
I'm sure there isn't, because it's just very interesting, especially dealing with the word freedom. Because even if you unpack the word freedom, I mean, what exactly is freedom? Everybody can determine and define that in their own way, also. I mean, when you think about it, any word, you can use it in the way that benefits you. Because speaking historically as a retired history teacher, freedom meant one thing to, uh, 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 well, let's say John Hancock or George Washington than it did to, let's say, Crispus Attucks or Prince Whipple, the African Americans. For them, fighting for freedom meant freedom for all. But apparently, we know how the war ended. We got our freedom from England, but they still kept slavery as part of the American, uh, whatever you want to call it. So that's what I mean, because freedom can mean different things to different people. And and are there limits to freedom? That's another thing. And how does that is a good question to ask the realm. Because if freedom, you have choice, and that's where create support can come in a very interesting way, Greta. I think you can feel where I'm going with this, because it just hit me in the head. You know, I might have the freedom to attack you or to give you $1 million. But and I don't know if I'm stretching, if I'm pulling it together the right way. So please jump in and help me and save me. Oh,
Oh,
no
okay.
saviorhood. Oh, okay. Support me.
Right. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you. Well, you know what? I thought it was interesting when the quote came through. Even the title, like it started coming through early this morning, because I knew I had gotten behind as far as, writing it and getting it out. And it wasn't until after I had finished writing everything and then I paid attention to the word freedom. And I thought that that was so interesting because July 4th is coming up tomorrow or today, because when people hear our podcast, it will be July 4th. So I found that so fascinating that they decided to talk about freedom, you know. And you're right. I'm in agreement with that. Freedom means different things to different people. You know, um, things are going on around the world in the world view. But as you go in the world view, you're going to see that all of individuals have a different concept of what freedom is. Here I know it's freedom of speech, freedom to be who I am, and freedom for me to practice the religion that I want, to be, to practice a political belief. I have the freedom to be able to choose that, you know. But the only thing is that there are many people, like you stated earlier, cultures of people that believe in, let's do destiny first, Kath, because you gave the definition of that separated destiny from fate. So there are people that believe that if something's happening, something's going to happen to them. It's going to happen. In other words, I'm feeling that if I go out on a boat, my grandfather fell off of a boat. So I am part of his lineage, so I may go and fall off of a boat as well. It's like I'm following what has happened to my family. In other words, I'd like to bring up cancer, where they
I was
can
going to
test.
say diabetes. Someone says everybody in my family gets diabetes. I know I'm going to get diabetes, and
Right,
boom, they create it.
right, right, right. And that, well, I kind of fall into that because both my mother and my father were diabetic, and both of them placed in my mind that I was going to go through that experience. But when I look back on it, that wasn't destiny for me just because the two of them had it. I didn't have to get it
Correct.
because everything that we have, Kathy, comes by way of thought and emotion. I don't care what it is. That's what I've come to understand, and that's what the Force has taught me. Everything, you got to have the thoughts and you have to have the emotions to support it. So when you're thinking about destiny and you're giving credence to it, then you are giving yourself you're placing yourself in a state where you are being controlled by that thought,
Hmm.
so you're losing your freedom then,
Ah, okay, that's a good point.
you know. So destiny, there's a ruling that this is what must happen. That doesn't have to happen because each person has their own reality. So just because of a whole group of people go with one idea, you don't have to go there. You're not destined to do that. You're not destined to be the president of the United States. You're not destined to be a teacher or a doctor. Those are the choices that you make. See, that's the freedom. That's the spiritual freedom. The spiritual freedom is that we can always change something and that we're never stuck.
And you know what? That is so, what you're saying just resonates so much right now with everything that's happening. I mean, it's amazing just watching things on the YouTube and the TikTok and all that kind of stuff. All of the things that people are creating to experience, like alligator Alcatraz. I mean, only it's just it's amazing. Someone felt they had the freedom to create a holding pen for human beings and the freedom to say that 65 million snacks for alligators is appropriate. And it's just amazing how when you scratch at that word freedom, who decides what type of freedom you can experience? Only you can determine that. But if you let other people define your freedom for you, you know where I'm going?
Absolutely, absolutely. Speaking of that, and I know we don't usually get political
No, we don't.
on our podcast, but I have to share with the audience that I have a young woman. She's Mexican. She lives in California. I'm her facilitator, and she was scared. She was scared, that at any point in time she would be snatched up. That's how she felt. And I told her, I said, look, you don't have to be afraid of that because you're not going to create it. See, anything that happens to people, Kathy, I don't care what it is, they have to create it. Otherwise, it can't happen. I told her, I said, You see yourself, quote unquote, free. You create that reality for yourself. That's why it says in that quote, there is only your personal reality created by you and only you.
But is it for you, only for you too? Because I don't, because at first I
What do
thought
you
that's
mean
what the
by for you, Kathy?
well,
Explain that to me.
that's why when I was typing, putting this, putting it in, I said I thought it said created by you for you, you know, and I said, wait a minute, that's not what it says. It says on only you. And so I said, oh, okay. Now, why did I say and for you? Why did I go in for you? Because,
That puts it outside of the person. When you say that's for you, that means somebody is providing something for you. It's an outside movement. You
oh,
see?
okay. All
And
right.
when you say, and only you, that's taking it internal. You are, I don't care what the heck is going on. Because we have, in this world right now, there are so many things happening.
Oh, yes, there are.
So, what we want to do is hold on to the fact that we create our own reality and that we are responsible for ourselves because we make the choices. And we've been making the choices before we were incarnated, you see, because we had to choose our mother and our father. We had to choose the means by which we were coming in here. So that was choice. We look at all the human beings that are around, and each one of us chose two specific people. You see, that was our freedom to be able to do that. Now we have the freedom now that I don't care what the heck is going on here. We don't have to be a part of it. It does not have to affect us unless we create it to affect us.
And
Now,
that means absorbing those low vibrational emotions and thoughts of fear and anger and all of those types of things, that will attract that which you do not want to experience to yourself. But um that's where the tools that the realm gives us, like the QDRs, and I'm pretty sure you told that person you gave them a quick displace replace.
absolutely, absolutely,
I'm experiencing releasing all emotions and thoughts that support me in creating and maintaining lack of safety, of not feeling safe and secure at every moment. I love myself unconditionally, but sometimes one of the ones that I said when I feel myself like the, a bill was passed that I knew it was going to be passed, and all of a sudden I felt this. I said, "Why am I feeling this in here?" The whole Medicaid thing. Why am I feeling this? There was a little bit of sadness that was coming in, and I said, but because of the training and everything from the realm and listening to the podcast and participating and being a facilitator and having you as my facilitator, I was able to do what I never did prior to knowing what we're talking about, the QDRs and my thoughts and emotions. I was able to just automatically go, huh, now, Kathy, why are you feeling this? I
mhm,
stopped, dropped, and rolled. Okay. It's like I'm about to catch on fire here. Stop, drop, and roll. Put that out.
absolutely.
Don't, don't take that in. But sometimes, Greta, I have to be honest with the audience. Sometimes I have to kind of work a little harder on that
Mhm.
because of, I don't know if I'm feeling the energy that's out there or because I just feel things. But at the same time, there's a shift going on, and I'm looking at it through a different lens a lot of times. Also, just even my own life in general. If I want to bring it back towards me, um, I'm not going to. I have decided I'm not going to worry about all of that stuff because it's not going to affect me. And then you're told, well, you got to get involved. You have to get involved. And I'm like, well, wait a minute now. Why do I have to get involved? If I get involved, then that means I'm agreeing or I'm supporting creating that which I don't know. Am I creating that which I don't want to experience? Because they say don't sit on the sidelines. Because what's that thing? They came for them and we didn't do anything. They came for that one. And I understand they all created for them to come for them, but you understand what I'm saying. I'm still a human having a humanoid experience, listening to what's happening and observing what's happening. And it's like, I notice this takes a lot of strength, inner strength, and a constant, we love ourselves unconditionally when I get like that. Um,
Absolutely.
I'm experiencing peace and joy in my life at every moment, but I know how to add the extra energy to that and sock it, and I don't know if we've ever told the audience how to do that. I don't know if if the realm will even let you do it, but you know, people say put your intention behind it, but to me, that's put your energy behind it. So, but I'll let you take it over from there, Greta.
No, but I'm in agreement with you. And intention is energy, because you got the intention is like the thought that you're putting here. But you know what? With what's happening in our lives, it came to me while you were speaking, Kathy. When one door shuts on us, we can open another one. You see, when one door shuts, if we created for something to really affect our lives, we don't have to buy into it. We can turn around and we open up another door. So, but see, people go into panic. And they said, what am I going to do? Oh my God. No, come out of what am I going to do? Oh my God. Be still. Because in the calmness of your spirit, you will be given how to move through this. See, what's happening here is a lesson for all of us.
And I said we are learning that everyone is learning their lessons. And that's how I
Absolutely.
said, boy, look at the lesson that group is learning. Look at the lesson that we're learning. Look at this lesson here. No more saviorhood, no more sacrifice, no more the other stuff, no more selfishness. Well, I don't know if, I don't know. It's not selfish. I don't know if that's the right word, but
But
because
that's okay because it's a low vibrational emotion.
oh, okay, okay,
It's
okay.
low vibrational emotion. So, but that doesn't mean that we should worry. I'm just being very specific with our audience today. If you're caught up in something, then what is the word? Uncaught yourself.
Uncatch yourself.
Right. Because you
Disentangle yourself.
thank you. Because you don't have to stay there. If you're caught up in this thing, this Medicaid thing, don't panic because you're going to find a way to deal with it in a positive manner. But you know what you got to do? You got to stay cool.
Yeah, because if you're
Got to
all
stay cool.
frazzled, you can't think. But you
No,
know
you
what?
can't.
This takes me back to another episode that we talked, back a few months ago. You have your angels and your guides, and when you calm yourself down, try to focus, try to tune into them. When you go to sleep, ask that question. Use some of the tools that we talked about before. Am I right, Greta? Where you put
Absolutely.
a suggestion in your mind. How can I not experience this? What suggestions do you have? And then go to sleep on it because you can find. Sometimes I know I sent you to sleep quite a few times. You went nighty night on me. You said, "Oh, I've got to go to sleep on that one, Kathy." I mean, ooh, no, they got those colored dragons. I've never had a lime green dragon before. Oh, I gotta go to sleep and figure out what the heck, who are you? That I need a lime dragon. So I'm just saying that, um, it might take extra effort and it might take really focusing on using the tools that we and that Gretta and the Realm and even Carol and all those before us, with Gretta, have been sharing with the audience. They're more important now more than ever, not just because of what's happening, but because it's going to support you. I know it's supporting me in remaining calm and remaining in love with myself. And sometimes I'm just trying to say I've got to remember that I have to love the others unconditionally too. I don't like the personalities. I don't like what they are creating for other people who don't know that they don't have to fall victim to those realities, are experiencing. And I'm like, huh. But yeah, it's to me, I don't want to say it's necessary. I just think it's interesting watching the evolving of the human species. I mean, it's all across the planet. It's like there's a unifying, uh, higher vibrational, I'm feeling it now, um, hopeful, uplifting type of inner strength coming out with
Absolutely.
everyone. And
Absolutely.
and I
That's what it's
feel
going to
that.
take.
And I
Yeah.
and I feel that. But my question is before we go to break, because I missed all the little chat things. Um, is there any way we could say I'm experiencing, releasing all emotions and thoughts that support me in creating and maintaining realities and reverberated realities, um, it- dealing with stress?
That's a good one, Kathy.
I love myself unconditionally.
That's a good one. Because I think there are people, as a strong probability, there will be people that will feel stressed out from certain decisions of others that they felt that nobody listened to them.
Right,
But
but
you
I meant
know,
saying reverberated realities and reverberated because we talked about reverberated realities also, Greta.
absolutely.
So that
Absolutely.
means that's layering, that's showing them how to, and all of the because like the reality is the way you explain it. Can you explain it again, Greta? Then we got to go to break.
Okay, what is a reality? A reality is nothing. I I've been given that it's movement and that it's change. Movement and change. Every time we make a movement, that's another reality that we've created. Just for me to put my hand like that. That's if I get to the end, that's a reality here. But look what I did with my hand. Every time I move my hand, look at if I'm moving it slowly, 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 slow. Look at how many realities I'm creating before I get to my hand looking like
And
this.
it's the same thing with the thought. So every time you
Absolutely.
had a fear, oh my God, they just snatched another one. Who's next? That's a reality. And every time you think that, that's another reverberated reality and another reality. That's why I added those, you know, I'm experiencing releasing all emotions and thoughts. That's because I'm changing the way the QDR goes. And I don't, like I said, the realm will say, well, yeah, well, you too, you know what I'm trying to say. Um, I'm experiencing releasing all realities, excuse me, releasing all emotions and thoughts that support me in creating and maintaining realities and reverberated realities, dealing with fear of deportation. I love myself unconditionally. This takes you back to the first moment you worried about being deported.
Absolutely.
I love myself unconditionally.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And with that, I guess you're going to break us, Kathy?
I believe it's time for break. Well, don't touch that dial. We'll be right back. Well, it's come at last it's come. Awakened Hearts, Stories of Embracing Light, Love, and Limitless Possibilities. And of course, Greta is in this book. So now she is a Amazon, there's a little picture, an Amazon best-selling author. And this is a composite of a lot of different authors. They're talking about their true stories from 32 conscious leaders, healers, and everyday seekers who have walked through the fire of transformation and emerged radiant on the other side. I don't think Greta did any of that because Greta was just born that way. So the realm is Greta slipped out. The realm will be back. So inside these pages, you'll discover reflections of Greta's journey. And I paid this, it's on Amazon, 20 bucks, 20 bucks, and write a review. And but it talks about basically what we're talking about, really, as a matter of fact, a spiritual awakening, emotional healing, intuitive remembering, reclaimed purpose. Some authors stepped away from their inherited beliefs. Others healed grief, trauma, or burnout, and all dared to follow the quiet wisdom within. By quiet wisdom, I'm going to interpret that as Greta's realm of beings, but that's her specific journey. But it's a beautiful book, and it's called Awakened Hearts, and it's part of Awakened magazine that Greta was in. She was in Awakened magazine, and from there, they decided to uh,
I'm chapter 21.
oh, are you 20? I thought you went around. Go to sleep.
I came out.
Oh,
You
you
told
came
me to come back out. I came back
out.
out.
Okay. Okay. And this is Alan's book. We suggest you get this one also. Well,
Okay,
okay.
so I,
So I have done all of that, and I'm going to give the Greta a second to go back in. So this worldwide podcast is where you learn and benefit from the teachings of the realm of beings. Like and share us on Facebook, and please, iHeartRadio and all of your streaming favorites. And of course, we are always happy to be with Transformation Talk Network. They are the bomb diggity. And I'm not even going to ask if the realm is there because I can feel them and they're like breathing down my neck. Like, okay, realm, let's go. I don't want to bring Greta out again.
uh,
The
yes, we're
quote,
here.
the
We're
quote,
here.
the
Read
quote
our quote for us again.
I shall be delighted in my
Thank
proper
you.
English. Freedom. There is no destiny or fate. There is only your personal reality created by you and only you. And the description is that you gave Greta is explore the true meaning of personal reality and how you create mental, psychological, and emotional freedom after releasing the belief in destiny or fate.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Our whole emphasis was to encourage your audience and our audience to understand that they are never, ever caught in any type of situation. That you can always maneuver around whatever you don't like, and you can always find solutions that will assist you in your movement around as you search for the answer to your challenge. And if you love yourselves, you see, we're always telling the audience, love yourselves. And this is very important because in the love of yourself, do you get freedom? You see, when you don't love yourselves, then that's when you have those handcuffs that people can put on you, and you're handcuffed. You can even be shackled if you want to really go deep into it.
Emotionally, mentally, or physically.
Absolutely. Psychologically,
Psychologically,
spiritually. Yes,
spiritually.
yes. And the freedom of loving yourself means that the reverberation, because we've been talking about reverberation, your love of self must reverberate toward others. It just doesn't stay. The energy does not stay in one place. It moves. It's in constant movement. That is why we are saying you're never stuck. Now, for those that believe in destiny, as you mentioned, Kathy, it's moving into the concept of the future. Well, you can't move into the concept of the future because there is no future. So, therefore, you cannot have destiny. Read your definition again for the audience, Kathy, please.
Absolutely, Realm. What destiny? What happens in the future? The things that someone or something will experience in the future. They believed it was their destiny to be together, was an example that they gave. And it refers to a predetermined course of events that is often seen as the result of an individual's choices and actions. It implies a sense of purpose or direction in life. Implication: people often view destiny as something that can be influenced or shaped by personal decisions.
Now see, look at that. They said can be shaped by personal decisions. Creation of reality is always created by personal decisions. Just
Mm.
the fact that they stated that, put that statement in there, you see, about the decision making, that shows you that you're never stuck. Even within their definition of destiny, there is the support that you are never stuck. You see, it's not predetermined that you're going to stub your toe on a big rock while you're walking on the sand near the ocean. That was never determined. If you stubbed your toe there, it's because, first of all, you've got to be angry if you stubbed your toe, for God's sake.
Yeah.
And then not only that, but you decided that you wanted to hurt yourself. You see, everything, and that's personal reality. We have that in that quote, personal reality.
Yes, you do.
But which means then, Kathleen, that it's not about you worrying about somebody else's reality.
Mm,
Because the only reality that you are in charge of is your own,
it's my own.
you see. If if you place yourself in a position of harm, you have put yourself there. Nobody else put you there but you. So therefore, love yourself so that you're not going to even create the possibility of you putting yourself in harm's way.
May I ask a question in reference to that, Greta? I mean, around. Oh my goodness, slippy,
That's
slippy.
all right. We're
Because you're
one
one and the
with her
same.
and she's one with us. It
Yep, I said
doesn't
you're one
matter,
and the
Kathy.
same. It almost seems as though, and I'm pretty sure I already know the answer to this, but I have to ask the question my way anyway. It seems as though, in order to um, people placing themselves in harm's way, when you expand, well, what's happening, Realm? I know you know they're expanding um, from moving from criminals to being deported to, they're expanding. And as they expanded, they're spreading the fear. And the people that are natural born citizens here are being, they're I know that my question, do they understand two things are happening? Let me just slow myself down. I see them building the fear up so that people will create those that want to create the reality to experience what they don't choose to experience. It's almost like they're being spoon fed the fear because they're expanding and broadening out. Well, are they going to, because they kept asking the questions, are they going to expand this now to natural born citizens? And because they put that out there, everybody started worrying about it. So they're creating it. You know, it's like a rose that's blooming, a flower that's blooming, and it's getting larger and larger and larger because the people are being stirred up, and it's pushing
Well,
people.
let me say this, Kathy. I have to say something about that. When you said the people are being
Well, the individuals
stirred
being caught
up,
up.
being stirred up. You can't be stirred up unless you choose to be stirred
Right,
up.
right. That's why I was trying to phrase it in such a way that,
Uh-huh.
but I think you get the gist of what I'm saying. It's in other words, it's like people were worrying about that, and those that are worrying about that now they're creating if it to happen to them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why we're encouraging everybody. You are free at every moment of your existence. You are free. Know that. Feel that in your hearts. And know that you determine what is happening to you. Because you see, if you don't create the reality, it can't be created for you because you're the only one who can create for you.
And how they create that is through their thoughts and their emotions. So
Absolutely.
if they that's what I was trying to go. So if they're listening to that, they get pulled into that, and it's like, oh my God, oh my God, they're going after natural born. My mother was born there, but I'm an anchor baby. I was born here. So all of a sudden now, if they don't know how to QDR and they keep dwelling on it, there's a probability. I'm not saying that they're going to do, but there's a probability that they're going to create the realities that they don't want. And I was wondering if the others kind of know that.
What do you mean by others? Who are the others
Well,
you're
the
referring
people, the
to?
people that are creating the chaos and creating to want to move people, deport people, or bomb people, or starve people. Doesn't matter whether it's this country or across the planet.
Absolutely, because everybody has a choice of going through an experience, a learning experience. Remember, I know I can feel some people are talking about, well, if we're a group, we're a particular group, and it's happening to us. Look at the genocides that happened in Armenia. Look at the genocides that happened in Africa. Look at the genocides that happened right in this United States, you see. It's so people have been a part of that, but that is not because they were destined to be part of it
Thank you for
or,
bringing it back.
or it was fate that did it. It was because they personally decided that they wanted to experience that, you see. It's like uh, just because you're part of the baseball team doesn't mean that you have to feel sad about losing the game. You're with your team. You see that at the final inning, your team has lost, quote unquote, lost, you see. Now, some of the members of your team will walk around insulting. Why didn't we do this? Why didn't you do that? Or you'll even insult yourself. Oh, I threw the ball wrong. I should have done this. I should have done that, and you get into those shoulda, 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 shouldas. The point is, don't go there. All that game was the experience of learning. That's all.
And it's the same
Everything.
thing.
Hmm.
I was going to say it's the same thing even with football. I listen to the fans saying, we want to get to the Super Bowl, but they never say we want to win it. So a lot of times they just get there, but they haven't spoken or created to win it. Then they go, oh, the refs, oh, they blame everyone else, but that's to me, that was just another example of,
That's a
uh,
good example.
oh,
That's a
okay.
good example. Yes. They're always talking. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. In basketball, we're going to get there. We're going to get there. Tennis, I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there. Okay, whoop-de-doo, you got there. Now what are you going to create? Are you going to create to acquiesce to the other group? Or are you going to win? You see, it's your choice. Everything, everything is our choice. Now, we've made, certain people have made quite an interesting choice for the experience in this country. Quite interesting. We like to just sit back and observe.
And that's what I have been doing, just sitting back and observing and trying and not trying, practicing not becoming emotionally uh, involved in it.
Kathy, you don't have, and let me say this as I speak to you, you don't have time, because, well, time does not exist, but we're going to use it at this point. You don't have time to sit around and worry about what's going to happen to Mary Jane or John Jones. You know why? Because you're going to be too focused
On
on keeping
myself,
yourself straight.
myself straight.
You see? If somebody comes to you and say, I fell down the steps, you're not going to go, oh my God, what happened? How did you just nicely say, did you get hurt? No? Well, that's wonderful, you see. And you let it be. You
But if
don't
I'm a
have to get
facilitator,
emotionally attached
no, you
to
don't. But if
this
I'm a
stuff.
facilitator, I may want to ask, what were you angry about?
Absolutely. They fell over in the first
And they
place.
always say, I wasn't angry. Then you start talking to them and go, well, I was thinking about, I was angry. I see, told you. Okay.
Right.
It
And
was like,
and you see that anger takes you out of freedom.
so low vibrational emotions take you out of freedom
Absolutely.
because they
Absolutely.
trap us, as you say, mentally, psychologically, emotionally, and spiritually. We
Absolutely.
shackle ourselves with our thoughts and emotions. Or we can, with low vibrational emotions, I should say. Or, well, wait a minute, Realm. If we take it down a little bit deeper, huh? Huh? I just lost. Yeah,
You were saying if we take it a little bit deeper. Now, how deep do you want to go, Kathy?
I'm looking at the time, Realm, because what came to my mind is I didn't want to pass judgment by saying that a low vibrational. Because sometimes, I guess the question is, sometimes do we experience low vibrational emotions to support us in learning our lessons? And to decide the freedom to choose whether or not we wish to stay there in that situation, or because I don't want to say that high vibrational emotions and thoughts are better than low, because then that's judging.
Absolutely. So the point is that, when we say low and we say high, it's just by frequencies. That's all.
Oh, okay. Because see, for
You
humans,
see.
it's like, Oh, it's like when they say sub-Saharan Africa. There is no place called sub-Saharan Africa, but they created it, and the word sub means under, below, not as good, not as good as the top half. That has been the pejorative surrounding that particular creation. The same thing with a place called the Middle East. It didn't exist when Greta was born. I think it was on its way out. I think it was on its way in when I was born, you know. It was just called Asia Minor or whatever it was called. Um, so it's just
Well,
interesting.
Kathleen, some people here in this reality and reverberate reality, out of not having feelings of strength, or see, let me say this. When you want to instill fear in others, Kathleen, you must be the one who is very fearful,
Right.
because otherwise you can't have the desire to instill fear in others.
There you go. There you go.
You see, it has got to be with you. Therefore, you are shackled by fear, and you have no freedom, even though it appears.
But
Notice what
you,
we are
yeah.
saying.
Hmm.
It appears to be that you have freedom, when in actuality,
You don't.
you do not.
Because you have trapped yourself in your own low vibrational um, thoughts and emotions out of the fear that reverberates. I think when Greta teaches the focus for change, um, the anger and then the hatred, and then it just reverberates and just gets just mushrooms so far out of control to me. Or it's just not out of control. It may not be the right word realm, but just like um, sometimes you can lose control of a situation or of yourself. I should say, not a situation, of yourself.
Absolutely, because it's always with each one of us, Kathy. It's with each one of us, you see. And sometimes we decide that we want to be in a group because we feel that that group is better than this group. See, because think of it, it not that I want to concentrate on low vibrational things, but let's take a war, for instance. Here is group A over here, and here's group B over here. Now, group A over here feels that they are just and they are right. But at the same time, and they think B is wrong. But then here's group B thinking that they're right, they're not wrong, and they're thinking that group A is wrong, you see. So there, and then from that, you have so many reverberations of interesting situations that occur. But our last thing that we would like to say, and then we're going to let Greta come back. Our last thing is, do not be discouraged at any point about anything. Note that you are always in charge of you and only you. You are not in charge of your great-grandmother or your mother or your daddy or your brothers or your children or your co-workers. You're only responsible for you. And that's not being
Selfish
separate.
or
That's
separate.
not being separate, because when you understand that you have love of self, that love is going to radiate outward. It will radiate outward. Just like, because it's coming from your internal being. It's just like there are some people that want to scare other people. So when they're of a person that wants to scare other people, the person that they're really scared of,
It's themselves.
absolutely. And with that, we say with our famous and constant phrase that we say, it is important, love yourselves unconditionally at every moment of your existence. And with that, we bid adieu.
And I want to thank you, Realm. That was a very, very lively, well, very compelling discussion that we had. And next week, we're going to continue to support you, our audience, in learning how to create the reality that you truly want and the freedom to do so. The freedom to do so. And we're asking you to like, share, and subscribe to Shifting Impressions on Transformation Talk Network or wherever you get your streaming services. We're also asking you to buy this and check out this beautiful book, Awakened Hearts. And please write a review to our best-selling author over there, Gretta Chamberlain. And I'll leave you with this. Remember, this is from the realm of beings, that you are a divine being who creates your personal reality at all times. You never stop creating. You create into infinity as you explore all aspects of your being. You are the force and are one with all of creation. Therefore, practice your divinity at every moment of your life. Appreciate and love yourself unconditionally, and understand that you are one with everything that is in existence. There is no separation, only oneness. And when the people on this planet learn to share what this earth gives us, we'll all experience the freedom that we are desiring, the peace that we are deserving. And with that, we'll plant you now and dig you later.
Once again, thanks for joining us at Shifting Impressions, Conversations with the Realm of Beings on TransformationTalkRadio.com. As you have explored today's creation of reality experience with the realm and me, Greta, each of you is being supported by us in further developing the understanding that you are not just an individual existing in linear time and space, but a multi-dimensional force of infinite possibilities who is connected to all. So begin to create the realities you want. Join us every Friday at 8 a.m. Pacific Time and 11 a.m. Eastern Time on Shifting Impressions at TransformationTalkRadio.com. So long until we create each other again next Friday.